Fuck ever is a poem I wrote fucking a few years ago about my upbringing. Peep it or don't. See if I fucking care. But here we go. From the time I was raised, I was left all alone. I can only theorize that my lack of love and attention may have led to me being labeled as suicide prone. You see, children are supposed to go through a socializing developmental stage, but I had no such harmonious interaction with my parents. I experienced nothing but rage. My dad never gave a shit about me. He left as soon as he got the chance. I remember bawling and begging him not to go, but he paid no mind to my rants. Being carelessly abandoned by the one I loved most gave me the first taste of true pain. I shut down and withdrew from people in order to avoid feeling that again. I gave up my luster for life before mine ever even got to start. My mom couldn't handle my coldness towards her. It must have broken her heart. Since I always saw them fighting, I must have blamed her for him leaving. My fragile little mind broke down into a borderline split to handle my grieving. I saw my mom as the villain, causing my prophecy to self-fulfill. She fell into a pattern of angry alcoholism, which she suffers from still. Since I rejected her affection, she could only reach me with hate. I became numb very quickly, causing her abusive behavior to escalate. I valued my absent dad of her, which caused her to resent. She was an immature parent, and I hated it, even though I didn't know what it all meant. My childhood was stolen. No one raised me. I taught myself everything that I know. I grew disconnected from my peers. I didn't conform, the normal way to grow. Life had no meaning, hope was for it, and I was a total nihilist. Until someone offered me some weed, and I discovered the teenage experience I missed. One of carefree hedonism, perpetual acts of mindless self-indulgence. I was depressed because I thought too much. Now I could escape my intelligence. For years I partied in non-stop blur, surrounded by people I called friends. Something I had never known. I was manic, then I learned every good thing eventually ends. I took my life for granted, and I learned the hard way that people can't act fake. I never had anything to start with, so I never realized what God could take. After experiencing happiness, I crashed harder than ever before. My life became a hellish downward spiral filled with mental pictures of myself in gore. What started with a little toke led to dope fiend craziness, in which I almost lost myself in an eternal broken haziness. I spent my whole life cursing God, wishing I wasn't born. I wanted to escape it all, angry at the fact I'd been forlorn. But once I hit rock bottom and survived, I understood the true meaning of hell. It means to be self-loathing on every imperfection to dwell. Sometimes I can look at things I do and feel a little proud, but then I always crash and doubt I need approval from a crowd. Because growing up my whole life I heard nothing but insults, and that's why I'm the broken man I am. Emotional abuses and results. I have no one to look up to. I always lacked a role model. That's why I took the wrong path and ended up hooked on the bottle. But I've seen where that road leads, and I've seen a better way. I have a chance to make it all right, a major role to play. I've learned all the things not to do, now I want to do it right. I want to guide those lost as me so they can see happiness in sight. I know just how tough life can get, but I want to leave my misery in the past. For once I want a solid foundation, a functional lifestyle that will last. Now that I've reached this point, I have to acknowledge that knowing is only half the battle. I have all these deep-seated problems that plague me still. It'll take work to be in life's saddle. It's going to be tough, and I'm going to suffer through all that I've repressed. I'll have to synchronize my experience with God's will in order to be truly blessed. Reaching a point of enlightenment is easier said than done, I'm sure. It'll be a lifetime of overwhelming failure to make my ego pure. Since no one ever had faith in me, the disapproval has been my motivation. To endure a life of suffering, to overcome, reaching a state of spiritual elevation. Heaven and hell are states of being, two heads of the same coin that are in a constant flip. And the meaning of life has no definite answer, is all about the trip. My problem from the beginning was rejection of my subjective reality. Sometimes life is torturous, but it's how we choose to experience it. Bad is just a formality. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, so always endure. Find perfection in your flaws, love your fate, and you'll find the cure. God lives in all of us. We have the willpower to give meaning to the fact that we are existent. They're called growing pains for a reason. Flow with the nature of reality and remain persistent. It's all a matter of self-realization and actualization, but facing our true selves is terrifying shit. The fear means you're going in the right direction. Be courageous and never quit. The thing that I'm most scared of is trying my hardest then to fail. When you chase your dreams, they'll fade away. Recognize the counterintuitive nature of the Holy Grail. The only way to finally be happy is to want nothing more than what you've got. Accomplishing this most difficult task is the only way to the peace of mind that we've all sought. Accept absolutely that everything happens for a reason, and it's what's best. We're quick to welcome joyous factors, but what forms us includes the rest. Life's nothing but a sequence of experiences. When one is lost, you gain a new. And some events are more challenging, but the only way out is through. So what I've learned from philosophical inquiry is to reject nothing but rejection. To open yourself up to it all allows you to shape your life by your own selection. If I never endured the pain of loneliness and alienation, I couldn't be the the true me. After a lifetime of being trapped in a cycle of identity confusion, I finally feel free. By just being who I am, I can know God is love itself. It's clear. By being happy in the present moment and hopeful for the future, you'll realize there's nothing to fear. I've been repeatedly traumatized by personally opening up to people, and growing up I knew no God. I had an animosity towards the steeple, but I'm sick and tired of doing this without emotional support. And I never would have imagined I'd be sent in the right direction by the court. But in settings like meetings, you get exposed to people's vulnerable sides, and we relearn how to trust each other, working together as mutual guides. It's not about who acts the best, we're all equal and have much to offer each other. We spend our whole lives hiding behind facades when we could be as close as a sister or brother. We all suffer from trust and abandonment issues, so why not come together in unity, looking out for each other as ourselves, a support network offering emotional immunity. I believe that's what God intended for us before we started fighting. So for once and all, I'm going to take a stand and reach people with my writing. When I pray, it's not for my own success, but to be granted a helpful ability to reach and unite those who suffer alone, bringing a sense of stability. I guess that's all I really have to say, so I wish you the best of luck, that you'll find happiness and be able to progress in life, becoming unstuck. What? Yeah.